Hi everybody, Pat Huntoon here from Technique Junkies, and today we're going to be making a fun and funky shaker card. So we're actually going to be using this S884 Moments card. Don't take these moments for granted is what it says. And when I saw this, I thought, how great would that be with numbers behind it? I have these number die cuts, and I thought they would be fun to make colorful and put them back behind the moments cut out on a piece of acetate. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So what we're going to do is color these. I could just leave them white, but what fun is that when I have all these beautiful colors that I can use. So I'm placing these on a paper towel, a couple of folded over paper towel. I probably only need one part of this, but we'll use two. And what I'm going to do is make this a rainbow of colors. So this is a nice bright card. So I'm going to be starting with the Technique Junkies Shimmering Bliss, and each of the numbers are going to have their own color. Okay, so all of my colors are shaken up pretty well, so I'm going to spray number and then move it over to a paper towel on the side. Again, you're going to go nice and low to the cardstock. You're going to do nice even strokes. So I only need 2 spritzes on each of these. Dry, and then I'm going to be taking the Don't Take These Moments for Granted, and I'm stamping it with Memento ink on Nina Solar white cardstock, which is Copic friendly. That turns out like this. Okay, and now I'm going to color this using Copic markers. I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch it in real time. So I'm going to cut this out using scissors. I'm going to fussy cut it, and I will be right back at you. Okay, so I fussy cut this out, and I want to show you a couple of things. I do happen to like fussy cutting, and I really don't like to use craft knives, but I know some people like to use craft knives. And I want to show you some things that might happen to you while you're fussy cutting, and I want to show you not to freak out. Okay, so first of all, do you see along that top part where you see the white? And if I want this to be absolutely perfect, I could take my marker and just go along that edge and take that white away there and there. It just kind of, your eye doesn't see it as much. You see what I did there? Just kind of colored it in with the gray to make it not quite so prominent. That's one thing. Second thing I want to show you is this. Many times I do this intentionally, but this time I did it unintentionally. Okay, I'm going to put white behind this so you can see. Many times I do it intentionally, and this time I did not do it intentionally, but it's no big deal because many times I do it. When I was cutting on the inside of that with my scissors, this broke. See that? That's real life, folks. These things happen. That's no big deal. Many times I cut into that to make it easier to get in there. I'm just going to tape that down. That's all I'm going to do to fix that. Just tape it down. And when I put it down on the paper, you will never see it. So that's 2 things that can happen, and a couple of ways you can avoid having those little things happen to you. So let's move on. So now we have numbers, and I think what I'm going to do with these numbers is dry them quick with a heat tool, and I'll be right back at you. So our card pieces are coming along, and I'm going to be using a white piece of cardstock as the super base, but I also wanted to put something else on this behind this because I thought this would look really cool together. I'm using S783 textured newsprint, and what I did was I stamped the textured newsprint with VersaFine Clair Morning Mist color. It's a nice gray color, and it's a pigment ink, so it dries very fast, and it works very, very well with the sprays. So rather than just leaving this color, I'm going to trim it down, and then I'm going to spray it. So I'm going to spray this background. I said I'm going to be using Mindaro and Smoldering Ash. Mindaro is this bright yellow color. It's the same color we used on the number 7. And Smoldering Ash is like, I like to think of it like smoke. It's a beautiful, beautiful vintagey color. So, and the yellow is pretty well shaked. I'm going to be very close to the cardstock, maybe an inch off the edge. And I'm just going to spray this with a coating of Mindaro. And then I'm going to be taking the Smoldering Ash and just doing the edges, just lightly along the edges here. I don't want too much here. I'll carefully put this on here. Look at how pretty that piece of paper is. Can you see that? Just the paper alone is pretty. I could use this in a billion things. And I'm going to dry this with a heat tool, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have all of my pieces and parts cut, and I'm going to be, I'll tell you what sizes they are. So I have a regular base cardstock that's 4 by 5, so it's 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. I have this piece of textured newsprint, which I covered with Mindaro and Smoldering Ash. That is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to have a a 1/4 inch border all the way around. I have this piece of acetate, which is 3.5 by 4 3/4, and this piece of textured newsprint to match that piece, which is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And you notice it's bigger than the acetate, because what we have to do here is cover up where the foamies are going to be. So I have to make this an appropriate size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. I'm going to mark it using my ruler. I'm going to come in 3/4 of an inch. These are only 1/2 inch, but I want this to overhang more than, I can always cut again. 3/4 of an inch this way, 3/4 of an inch this way. So I'm going to cut that down. Be right back at it. Okay, so now I have a frame. Let's do some assembly. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is adhering this to the cardstock piece. Then I'm going to be adhering the acetate to the back of this and this over the top, making sure that that's closed and adhered. And then I'm going to be flipping this over and adhering the foamies right to the back of this, and putting the numbers in and placing this down. So that's how I'm going to be doing this whole thing. So let me get started. I'll do it in fast time so you don't have to watch it. And I'll be right back at you. So once you have that all done and the front completed, you're just going to take and put this right over the top and press down the background and then lift. And everything should be on there nice and perfectly. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing? So this is our Don't Take These for Moments for Granted shaker card. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to future Technique Junkie channels. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.